So to continue with my note, we were gathered at the Washington Bureau on this particular evening. This was unusual because, you know, press conferences by the White House, that's what this was, uh, in the evening. Maybe it might have been a State of the Union address, which usually comes on at 9 o'clock. That's what it might have been. At any rate, I was there, and um, I don't think it was a State of the Union because wouldn't the reporters have been present uh, in that hall? I don't remember. I didn't ask questions in those days. I really was. I don't want how to describe this. I was so involved in my studies to get my master's, and I was working so hard at it. I just didn't have time to even think about anything else. So I didn't. At the time, I didn't ask myself, why are we here, not there, and so on, because all the reporters were gathered around a TV at the front of the office, in front of the secretary. What do you call it? The managing secretary's desk, just inside the entrance. They had a TV there, and all the reporters had taken the chairs and brought them around to watch this press conference on TV and report on it. Okay, so anyway, I guess it was before the press conference started. We were there early, and I was back where I usually was in the library area. This was before the library moved out of the main part of the bureau and moved across the hall into some space that became available, and it was moved in there. But at that time, it was with everybody else, all the reporters here. Now, I was saying that those reporters, that job meant so much to me at the time that I still remember every single reporter's name and what they covered. So let me just off the top of my head prove that I can do that. I didn't prepare for this, so I may not get everything. Some of those names are tricky for me. Okay. Charles Cordry, Military Affairs. Jim Mann, Supreme Court. Hank Truitt, Foreign Affairs. Now this guy, Edsel. Tom Edsel, Congress. Art Pine, Finance. This guy, he went to Yale. I had his name the other day. I'm never able to remember it. I'm going to have to skip him. This guy, he never said a single word to me in the 2 years that I've worked there. And my job was pretty much when talking to these people, although I carried on extensive conversations with some of them. This guy, he was incommunicado. Trying to remember his name. Uh, he went to Yale. That was his big pedigree. Okay. Never mind him. Maybe he'll come to me later. Okay. Uh, Now I'm freezing up. Well, editor in chief, Ernest Ferguson, managing editor, Barry Rascovar, office manager, Shirley Krantz, um, ah, uh, Congress, damn, what's this guy's name? God, I can't remember. These two guys worked together. Their desks were like 6 feet apart. The White House correspondent and this Congress correspondent. And for some reason, I can't remember either of their names now. Okay, then back in the quarter was Muriel Dobbin, feature stories. She was the only woman reporter there. Now, who are those guys' names? God, I can't remember them. This is odd. Okay, well, anyway, then there was the librarian, NB. I'll leave those names out. So I got everybody but four names. Mine, the librarians, the White House correspondent. He had 5 kids and he was getting divorced at the time. Well, toward the end of my tenure there. And the other guy, didn't know much about him, but he had the same name of a guy who I'd known in school. I often wondered whether they were related. I never asked though. Okay, so that's as well as I could do. As I'm talking along, maybe those other two names will come to me. Okay, so anyway, I was back there in the library area, and I noticed there was a bag, a paper bag, left where I sat at like this table near the librarian. So I went over to the bag and I picked it up and I thought, well, what's this? And I looked in, and you know what was in there? Well, one thing for sure was in there. Some condoms, like one or two condoms. And the other thing, I believe, was a photo of this woman who one of the reporters was apparently taken out on a date that night. I don't know. I don't know. He showed up with her in the office. His desk was near mine, right around the corner, and he was a friendly guy. He wasn't like the Yale man. I talked to him, and but we weren't like I wasn't buddies with anybody there, unless you could say I was with the librarian. Our our relationship developed over time, but I didn't get in any kind of buddy relationships with any of the reporters. I just didn't. Now, but we had conversations, limited, but I had conversations. So anyway, this guy he left his bag there, and well, he'd been in the office with this woman who I thought was attractive. And she was from the country of India, and I thought she was very attractive. And there was a photo of her in this bag. As I recall, I mean, it seems so strange. I'm wondering, did I really see that? Because I have a pictorial mind, and maybe I'm just putting that picture in there from what I saw of her. But it was peculiar, and I guess I said, well, I guess he left this by accident. He was because his desk was right around the corner from mine, and he might have gone to the librarian, asked her for something while he had that in his hand, and just left it there by accident. I don't know, but I thought, wow, this is odd. So, well, that's all I remember of that, and I'm just thinking about that, because since I've discovered over the past decade, roughly, that I was being severely sexually abused while growing up in ways I didn't even know, and then on analyzing the entire experience, I've decided that the reason I was never able to have relationships with the opposite sex or even friendships with the same sex that didn't descend into bizarre situations where somebody of my own sex was thinking I might be a queer. It seemed like every relationship with my own sex developed in that direction. So it was so bizarre. I couldn't figure it out since I'm thoroughly heterosexual. I'm 100% heterosexual. And so as I was going through life and encountering all these weird experiences that I couldn't make sense of, why were there gays fluttering around me all the time? Why were women not interested in me? Why this, that, why that, and so on? Why the weird life I had? And well, I finally figured it all out. Well, so now that I'm thinking about these condoms left where I sat in a bag with a picture of this woman, I'm thinking, well, that's another weird thing that happened to me. And I don't know, I'm just thinking about it. Today is Sunday. I think it's the 30th of May. I could easily check. Let's see. Oh, it's the 31st. It's May 31st, Sunday, 2026. And the time is, let's look at my watch. It's 7:40 a.m.